Because guys like you, look at you, the way you carry yourself, the way that's a fighter. Like, you look at that guy's a dangerous motherfucker. But when you see Paddy, he's dancing like this, his hair's flopping around like he's in the Beatles. You know, he's like, he seems silly, but then he fucks people up.
But I didn't quit on me still like a...
No, see, this is part of the stuff I wanted to ask you about. What are your thoughts on Ilya right now?
He's a little bitch, lad. How can you sit there, call yourself a world champion, and quit on you still when the going gets tough? You know what I mean? You don't do that. Real fighters don't do that. I know I beat Ilya and Justin Gaethje beat me, so it was a no-brainer for me that Justin Gaethje beat him. And I don't think Ilya's ever...
Whatever happens next, UFC 329 will be remembered not only for McGregor's devastating injury, but also for the endless debate it sparked. From replay analysis and differing opinions to reactions from fighters and analysts, the questions surrounding his comeback remain unresolved. Whether it was simply an unfortunate accident or something more, one thing is certain. The conversation surrounding Conor McGregor's return is far from over.
I'm going to pass the torch Saturday night. Didn't mean to. Wasn't his intentions. Wasn't the UFC intentions. It organically happened. Paddy's a massive star now. He's always been a star. Always been a star. The kid, I don't know how long I've said this. He's a close thing Conor we have. And Saturday night with that performance, he stole the show. And I'll say this, if you miss the Conor train, now's the time to hitch your wagon to the Paddy train. Because if you should learn anything from this sport, from the UFC at the highest level, it doesn't last long. Enjoy it while you can. And right now, Paddy is on this rocket ship and it's super positive. It's fun. He's not a bad guy, has no allegations, none of that stuff. He's a good one to get behind. The torch was passed to him.
Gaethje, and he did well against Justin Gaethje. Well, now we know the man's for real, because look at what he just did to Benoit Denis, a man that is also for real, and he made it look easy, and he does it with charisma, he does it with style, he does it with personality, humor, flair, put it all together. There's nothing not to like about this guy, and he's one of the most authentic people in all of the sport. Like, against Benoit Denis, he didn't have a problem, and he wasn't talking shit because he didn't have any beef with him. But if Benoit Denis said something to him that he perceived to be talking shit, he would have called him out on it, and he would have went at him, because that's how we are as fighters. But he didn't feel like that. So he didn't fabricate some nonsense just for the sake of it. And again, I think that's why people really relate to Benoit Denis and to fighters when they're being authentic, when they're being corny and cheesy and trying to put on an act. It just doesn't.
Joe Rogan praised Paddy Pimblett's performance, highlighting the steady improvements he has made with each fight. He was particularly impressed by Pimblett's patience, composure, and ability to control the pace rather than relying on reckless exchanges. For years, opinions on Pimblett had been divided, with some viewing him as a future title contender and others believing he had benefited from favorable matchmaking. UFC 329 may have changed that perception, as his performance established him as a legitimate threat in the lightweight division and quickly earned praise from fighters across the MMA world.
Absurd.
I mean,
you gave the guy who's a choke artist what he wants in the first 20 seconds of the fight? What? Now that was a nasty performance for Paddy. I mean, he got a layup. I say to guys while we're watching the fights, I go, why can't I ever get a guy who's just reckless enough to do that for me and give me what I want and make me look like a superhero? You know what I mean?
That didn't even really get to fight on Saturday night. We know the name. The man is blessed. He is called Max Holloway. Okay? Max Holloway versus Paddy Pimblett. Tell me you wouldn't want to see that fight. That fight makes all the sense in the world. The former BMF, the former 145-pound champion, one of the greatest to ever do it, and a massive star in his own right as well. By the way, a man that handled himself with absolute class on Saturday night. He could have talked a lot of shit to Conor McGregor, but he didn't. And you could see that when McGregor went down, he didn't even really want to punch him in the face too much, because he's like, hold on, he's hurt, he's injured. Ref, there's something wrong with his leg, right? That is a great guy right there in front of you. That would be an awesome fight. And then, of course, there's one person out there that is the baddest motherfucker in all of the sport. He is called Charles Oliveira. Charles Oliveira is the BMF champion. Paddy the Baddy versus Charles Du Bronx Oliveira for the BMF belt next. Does that make sense? Of course it does. Do you think that Paddy Pimblett's going to be scared, intimidated, or terrified of the submission threat from Charles Oliveira. Well, he should be. He should take it seriously because the man has the most submissions in UFC history, the most bonuses, the most finishes, the most a lot of things, okay? And just because you got good jiu-jitsu doesn't mean that you can stave that off and defend every single.
Tom Aspinall praised Paddy Pimblett's performance, emphasizing the confidence he continues to display inside the octagon. Dana White also acknowledged the significance of the victory, noting that performances like this are how future stars establish themselves in the UFC. Even critics who had previously questioned Pimblett's level admitted he looked like a much more complete fighter, with sharper striking, improved defense, and noticeably better fight IQ. For many fans, it was the first time they truly believed he could become a legitimate UFC title contender.
Jim, please. It's because somebody like Paddy inspired him. There was nothing short of that. His walkout, he looked like he was having fun. He gets in the ring. He called this move, by the way. And when you lock that in dry, Paddy the Baddy used to be like a regional fighter that said some funny things with a weird hairdo. That's not who he is. This is one of the best fighters in the world. The only reason he was a co-main event tonight is because McGregor made the walk. Paddy the Baddy is a bona fide star.
Back then I fought Jared Gordon. I was still an immature kid. I might have been 26, but I was still an immature child, where now I've got kids of my own and I've got a lot smarter head on my shoulder.
I think Paddy Pimblett is a future champion. I truly mean that. He's very good everywhere. He's good at creating the chaos. And I think for him, once he gets into chaos, he's able to find submissions. And each submission that he really, gets is very, very good basics, good fundamentals, meaning that BSD comes across the board, they start exchanging, he shoots a takedown, he gives up his neck, he takes the neck, and he stays with the choke. He attacks the guillotine. BSD rolls. When he rolls, he attacks the shoulder. When he attacked it and he rolled through, he locks up.
Looking ahead, the lightweight division remains one of the UFC's most competitive, with names like Justin Gaethje, Arman Tsarukyan, Charles Oliveira, and Islam Makhachev all in the title picture. While few expect Paddy Pimblett to receive an immediate title shot, his performance at UFC 329 has made him impossible to overlook in the division's biggest discussions. Joe Rogan noted that breakout victories like this can completely transform public perception, replacing years of skepticism with genuine belief. At the same time, Pimblett's rise brings greater expectations, as every future performance will be scrutinized more closely against the division's elite.
Big performance. Submitted Benoit Denis in the first exchange. Insane Darce choke. Spider monkey wrapped all around his body. Put Benoit Denis to sleep. The energy that Paddy brought, honestly, is something that makes the UFC insanely happy, makes the fans, they love that kid, guys. People are going crazy in here as Paddy Pimblett walked out and as Paddy Pimblett left the octagon. He's a stud, and he deserves a big fight.
People are sick of me saying that Joe Silva tried to sign him when he was 21 and he could have come to the UFC at 23, but he wanted to come as the proper athlete. But relative to who I know him to be, the martial artist, the hard worker, the public perception has been way off, right? People love the persona, rightfully so. He's a master orator without any notes, but people lean into him eating donuts after the fight and they don't realize.
If UFC 329 proved anything, it's that Paddy Pimblett appears ready for the spotlight. Rather than shrinking under the pressure, he embraced it with a standout performance that elevated his status in the lightweight division. While much of the attention will remain on Conor McGregor's future, Pimblett accomplished something equally significant. He ensured that the MMA world is now focused on what comes next for his own career.